Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to make a little short little intro video to what I'm going to call living in a world of gray. And I'm calling it that because, when we were kids, we were always taught that everything had an answer. Everything was right, or there was a right and wrong to everything. And while technically there is to a lot of things, there's even more that you kind of there. It's gray. You're in the gray area, and as you get older, you start actually seeing that. You start seeing that there's a lot that we don't know. A lot. And I mean, if you think about stuff that you don't know, a lot of people will think, for instance, space. You see that in the background right there. Uh, Lightning and everything, which we know a lot about lightning. I'm not saying that, but let's stick with space. There's just ass tons of stuff that we don't know, that we theorize on, that we have stuff to back up our theories on. Uh, but we really don't know. Or we think we know, but we're wrong about it. They say that we're an intelligent race, that we're highly intelligent, space for one, and when we're talking about like aliens, and I'm going to go off on little tangents, and like I said, this is kind of the basis on. I'm going to do like separate videos on different thoughts that I have. Um, but say for instance, aliens. We always look for intelligent life. We always compare it to life as we know it, and what if there is no life as we know it, but there's actually other life? We can't just say life is just us. There's just so much evidence that says that we aren't the only people that's graced this planet. There's been other civilizations. Hell, even in America, America's been around since 1776, and we think that that's a long time. Well, it's been around a little bit longer than that, but that's when we drafted the Constitution, and that's when we had all of that. We succeeded from Great Britain and everything. Um, but and we think of that as it's been a long time, but you do the math, it's not. It's been a couple of hundred years, and that's it. Uh, we have evidence that there was some sort of life, some sort of humans, 10,000 years ago. So I mean, it's one of those things that I think it's been obstructed by the way that we perceive time. And there's a lot of questions that we have that we think we know the answers to, but in all reality, we don't know. And we strive to find out those answers, but I don't think we ever will. So you can't say that somebody's opinion is correct when we don't know. And I'm not trying to doubt any kind of scientific theory or anything. They know a lot more than I do. Or at least I think they know. I hope they know more than I do because they're the ones that's teaching us the things. But you got to keep an open mind about things. You really do. And there's just a lot that we don't know about. A lot, especially dealing with space. Um, but there's a lot of stuff on Earth that we don't know about. That we feel like we know a thing or two, but we don't. What's at the bottom of the ocean? We don't know because there's so much pressure. We have ideas and we have theories, but we know that the farther we go down, the just the immense pressure and hell, I even recently just learned like why there is a pressure. I've had an idea, but I've never been posed that question before. Why is there actually so much pressure as you go down in the ocean? And it's actually because of like the water that's on top of you. You have a bucket of water. You put something in it, water goes around it, but water also builds up on top of it the more you go down. So the more you go down, the more water that's actually on top of you. That's where the pressure comes from. And that's about the simplest way that I've thought about it. And I was like, you know, damn, that actually makes a lot of sense, and it's actually true, you know. So, or we think. That's beside the point. But I mean, but even regardless of ocean, you know, Earth, like just thick Earth. Um, you know, the farthest we've ever been down, the farthest hole that we've ever drilled, is like 8 miles deep. Um, which is in Russia, and that's it. 8 miles. I can't even make it all the way through the town that I live in. It's actually a little bit bigger than that. So, 8 miles ain't much. Hell, fucking even Eminem lucky lived on the 8 mile. So I mean, you think about that. That's as farthest we've actually drilled down into the earth. You know, we have, you know, seismic equipment, and we have, you know, stuff that we think we can see through the earth, and it's stuff that's man-made. It's stuff that we've created. Um, just like technology, I mean, we create the technology, and then the technology is supposed to do the work for us. But how do we know the technology is doing the work when we're the ones that set up the technology? So I mean, I think that we're an advanced civilization. I think we're smart with tech. I think we're smart with, you know, the basis of what we think that we need to survive. But I don't think that we're the smartest. I don't think we're as advanced as we actually think we do. Uh, just for as you know, as I said earlier, you know, the Constitution and what we know as the United States is only a couple of years old, and we have civilizations that's, like I said, 10,000. We have the evidence. We have stuff that we've seen, that we have. We don't know where it came from. We're saying that, hey, that shouldn't be in that time period, and yet it is. So I mean, do I think that we're the most advanced? No, I think there was actually more advanced fucking civilizations than what we know of. But are we advanced in tech? Yeah. Do we is this the last straw of tech? No. Are we ever going to get to the last straw of tech? I don't think so. I mean, we always talk about Moore's law and everything, but I mean, have we actually reached that point? You know, you look at it through the years, you know, you think back, and when was the first automobile created? What, 1910, something like that, 19 in the early 1900s. Um, we've had wheels before then, obviously, but we didn't have a car. So now we've got cars, but that actually wasn't that long ago. That's my point. That's my whole point. It hasn't really been that long. Uh, but we feel like it's long. And the reason why we feel like it's long is because the way we perceive time. And we think, you know, 10 years ago was a long time ago. When in fact, 10 years is a blink. I just blinked. That was 10 years. Go figure. It just depends on how you perceive the time. But that's my point. That's just a little intro video. I'm gonna dive deeper into other things that I have, you know, high feelings about, or I don't want to say feelings, but high thoughts about, that I think about, that goes on in this brain. This brain is crazy. But what goes on in my brain, I want to kind of share it and go on with it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't have to watch. I don't care. Um, I'm not one of those that's gonna, you know, bow down and only talk about things that people want to hear about. I want to talk about things that I'm thinking about and what's going on in my brain. That's what this whole thing is about, and that's why I want to call it. You know, in a world that you thought that was black and white, we're living in a world of gray. And I'm starting to realize that. I'm starting to realize that not just one person knows everything, and there's nobody that knows everything. Nobody. So, anyways, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for more videos in the future about random stuff, because this is what's going on in my brain. Peace.